We're kicking off with the Wyatt Six continued hunt for tag team gold this week as they challenged the Street Profits for the WWE tag team titles, which was a memorable part of the show. This match came about after the entire Smackdown tag team division got involved in their match 2 weeks ago, but this time that wasn't the case, and the Wyatts benefited from it. This was a lengthy back and forth match that saw the two teams exchange control repeatedly. The champions seemed to have it won after a frog splash until Montez Ford was yanked out of the ring by Eric Rowan. Dawkins managed to take out the big man to get revenge, but inside the ring, a missed frog splash was capitalized on with a suplex powerbomb combination as new champions were crowned. It was a shocking moment that people weren't expecting, but after a good match, it provided a great ending. Fans had reacted to all the near falls, and both teams were able to look good throughout this. However, Loomis and Ford narrowly avoided a disaster after a sunset flip powerbomb from the top rope didn't quite go to plan. It's just a shame this wasn't a premium live event match, as that would have helped elevate the SmackDown tag team division, which consistently seems to be neglected of moments on big shows. While the WWE Universe reacted so positively to the news, backstage the tag team division discussed the situation as they then learned that Rey Fenix and Andrade have officially entered the division, increasing the competition. Fans were also treated to one of the Wyatt Six famous QR codes this week, which has been missing for quite some time. The code took fans to a promo they posted minutes before the show. Bo Dallas discussed the titles and hinted that the Street Profits might break up if they lost the match. He also claimed that this was only the beginning, which is a sinister threat. The timing of this title win is also interesting. It came after the Wyatt Six storyline launched on WWE 2K25, featuring unreleased audio for Bray Wyatt himself in what proved to be an emotional situation for Bo. That video game storyline also featured a unique goodbye message from Wyatt that he had legitimately recorded while he was alive, which will surely hit fans emotionally. For fans, here is the Bray Wyatt unheard audio once again.
Cool. Alright, and here we go.
Whenever I'm ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. I have taught you well, little Firefly. I'm so proud of you. And you know what they say. If you love something so much that you want to squeeze it until it dies, do it if you have to, but try to let it go. Don't be sad. You'll always be my little Firefly, and I'll always watch out for you. You've done so much for me. Goodbye, for now. Okay, keep going.
The segment also had Uncle Howdy claiming it was all about what I would have wanted, which then turned into him saying he, as fans question whether he is Wyatt himself or just a figment of Bo's imagination. SmackDown kicked off with LA Knight this week as he looked to hype up his match against Seth Rollins at Saturday night's main event. However, in typical fashion, he was interrupted by Paul Heyman, who warned that Knight has no future before Solo Sikoa and his MFTs made their way to the ring, which had Heyman worrying. With no protection, Sikoa threatened to put Heyman through a table again, while he also warned Knight that a 4-on-1 beatdown might occur. Fortunately for them both, Jimmy Uso appeared with a chair in hand to provide a save, but it didn't salvage the segment overall, which felt rather forced. WWE was desperately trying to set up the main event while promoting a couple of matches for this weekend, but it didn't quite feel like it should have dominated the opening 15 minutes. The segment did set up a tag team match to close the show, as Knight and Uso teamed up to face Sikoa and JC Mateo, but it was the babyfaces who earned some momentum ahead of Saturday night's main event. Uso pinned the United States champion himself just one night before he challenges for the gold, although their momentum ended up being short-lived. The MFTs chased Jimmy out of the arena, and that left Knight all alone at the mercy of Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, who beat him down, with an emphatic tsunami wrapping things up. Knight will now head into Saturday slightly weaker, with Rollins being able to take advantage of his injured ribs. However, the main event was a lot of fun, and fans continued to love Knight as a babyface, being the most popular man in the match. He's got a lot of momentum right now, but it remains to be seen if WWE will make the most of it this time with a consistent main event push. Uso and Knight's victory looks like the perfect momentum boost heading into Saturday night's main event, until the post-match mayhem flipped the script. Out of nowhere, Braun Breaker stormed the ring and speared LA Knight into next week. Before fans could even process the ambush, Bronson Reed followed up with a massive tsunami, flattening Knight and leaving him in a heap. With injured ribs and a title match looming, Knight's road just got a lot tougher. But the night wasn't over for those inside the arena. WWE kept the action rolling after the cameras stopped, delivering 2 high-stakes dark matches. First, Sheamus faced Ludwig Kaiser in a fun, hard-hitting encounter. The Celtic Warrior was in full form, joking about El Grande Americano, getting the crowd involved, and even breaking into a birthday song before putting Kaiser away, and then came the night's true finale. Enjoying the video? A quick like goes a long way in helping us grow and deliver more wrestling news you care about. In an Extreme Rules style match, World Heavyweight Champion Gunther locked up with Jey Uso. The match was pure carnage, tables, kendo sticks, and relentless brutality. Gunther took the win but refused to stop the beatdown afterward. That's when Cody Rhodes hit the ring. The American Nightmare charged in to back up Jey, turning the odds and unleashing a counterattack. Together, Cody and Jey put Gunther through a table in a thunderous moment that brought the crowd to its feet. Cody ended the night in a short but fiery promo, closing out an electric night in Nashville. Now fans are asking, was this Cody simply returning the favor to Jey, or did we just see the first spark of a future showdown with Gunther? What's your take? Cody versus Gunther on the horizon, or just a one-night alliance? Let us know in the comments. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch were victims of a scary home invasion earlier this week, and now more shocking details are coming to light. According to updated reports, approximately $10,000 in cash was stolen during the break-in, which took place around 3 a.m. on Tuesday in their Playa del Rey Beach home. At the time, both WWE superstars were across the country in Providence, Rhode Island, performing live on Monday Night Raw. Authorities say the suspect, or suspects, gained entry by breaking through a rear sliding glass door. Thankfully, no one was home during the incident, including their 4-year-old daughter, Rue. Rollins reportedly discovered the crime after returning and was the one to place the 911 call. While the couple has occasionally shared glimpses of their beachside home on social media, police say there's currently no indication that those posts were linked to the burglary. Still, the financial loss is significant, and the violation of their home has understandably shaken fans. As of now, no arrests have been made, and the investigation remains ongoing. We'll keep you updated as more details come to light surrounding this unsettling situation. Ahead of Evolution, Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton appeared for an in-ring interview with Wade Barrett to hype their upcoming title match, which was needed due to the lack of build-up so far. Stratton revealed she picked Stratus as her opponent because she's already defeated so many top stars, and now she wants to prove she can beat a Hall of Famer like her. However, Trish made it clear she's not just back to participate. She told Stratton that she should be feeling the pressure and vowed to leave Evolution as an 8-time women's champion. Stratton took a cheap jab at Stratus's best moments being available to watch on VHS tapes, while Stratus joked that the champion only learned what a VHS is via TikTok, as the generational differences between them were made clear. While the tension grew between them, Miss Money in the Bank Naomi was on hand to remind them both that she holds the briefcase, subtly teasing at what that might mean for them. However, her cool threat didn't last long. Jade Cargill stormed out and attacked her, and a wild brawl began while Trish and Tiffany just watched on. It was a chaotic segment, but it effectively built up 2 major matches ahead of this weekend, as WWE continues to build the division around Stratton herself. However, it remains to be seen if she'll hold on to the gold at Evolution. This segment was ultimately rushed, like most of the build toward Evolution, but it served a purpose for what it was intended to do. However, people shouldn't be shocked if Naomi is the one to leave Evolution with the gold, setting up the back half of the year with a new champion in the division. The show lacked major star power, as neither John Cena nor Cody Rhodes was involved this week, but the return dates for the arch-rivals were advertised. Both men will be under the same roof next week on the July 19th episode of Smackdown, which will start the build toward their epic SummerSlam encounter. Fans were treated to a live performance from Jelly Roll on SmackDown. After reports that he's set to be involved in a SummerSlam angle, fans were paying close attention to this segment, and with good reason. Logan Paul returned to television to unplug Jelly Roll's equipment and demanded the performance end. He trash-talked the country rock singer and said he was sick of celebrities taking the spotlight, which was ironic. Paul claimed that Jelly Roll's music was for parents who have tattoos of their kids rather than custody, but he was interrupted by none other than Randy Orton. However, that didn't go according to plan. While the Viper was attempting to confront Paul, he was wiped out by a Claymore from Drew McIntyre, and the YouTuber took advantage by beating Orton down afterward. That was until Jelly Roll himself got involved to send Paul away as he helped Orton up, while Paul destroyed his music equipment. Backstage, Orton asked the singer to be in his corner at Saturday night's main event, and as he accepted, it became clear where Jelly Roll's storyline might be headed. It was a brilliant segment that will surely get people talking around the world. Paul's line about influencers taking their spotlight is hilarious and shows his self-awareness heading into this storyline. During the first hour of Smackdown this week, fans spotted Fred Durst in the crowd. The Limp Bizkit frontman gave the camera a nod as he enjoyed the show. There had been mounting tension between Ron Killings and Aleister Black in recent weeks, and that reached a boiling point on Friday as they met inside the ring for a singles match. Sadly, it ended up being rushed and filled with controversy. The referee stopped Black using a chair, which set up Killings' roll-up victory, which felt rather underwhelming. Black stalked to the back after as Damian Priest attempted to calm him down. However, Black beat him up for his troubles, with the former AEW star showing that he is a true heel and not a tweener. That was the positive from this segment, as it appears a full feud between Black and Priest could now be right around the corner as WWE heads towards SummerSlam. WWE's main roster fans were given a first look at NXT's Sol Ruca this week on SmackDown as she competed in a fatal four-way ahead of the women's tag team title match at Evolution on Sunday, with one representative of each team competing. Alexa Bliss, Kairi, Sane, and Roxanne Perez all stepped up for their respective teams in what ended up being an action-packed match. Ruca herself almost won after a double soul snatcher to Bliss and Perez, but Raquel Rodriguez ended up interfering. All the other tag team partners inevitably got involved as the match descended into chaos. However, it was Bliss who took advantage of it by pinning Sane after his sister Abigail. This ended Sane's winning streak, which Michael Cole had only just hyped up on Monday. However, this was a good way to hype up the tag team match, and it worked as a solid preview. Ruca also impressed in this one and didn't look out of place among several top stars, which is a positive sign for her career. However, the fans were quiet throughout due to the lack of build. At one point, she hit a handspring dive to the outside of the ring, which was very impressive. However, it did cause a major problem, as the dive led to an accident that saw WWE screen blackouts take place multiple times to cover it up. The problem was with her top, and a wardrobe malfunction had occurred, leaving Charlotte Flair just as shocked as the onlookers. Tragic news has rocked the wrestling community as veteran performer Kevin Nikel, best known to fans under the ring names Ivan Warsaw and Knuckles Madsen, has passed away following a fatal shooting near Rogers, Arkansas. According to the Benton County Sheriff's Office, the incident took place just after midnight on Friday along East Highway 12. When deputies arrived at the scene, they discovered the 41-year-old wrestler suffering from a gunshot wound to the abdomen. He was rushed to a nearby hospital, but sadly did not survive. Lieutenant Shannon Jenkins, spokesperson for the Benton County Sheriff's Office, confirmed the shooting, but stated that no further details are being released at this time. Nikel had been part of the pro wrestling world for nearly 2 decades, performing across various independent promotions. He briefly appeared in WWE's NXT brand in 2012 and 2013, competing in house show matches. His final in-ring appearance was recorded in July 2024. Dog Pound Championship Wrestling paid tribute to Nikel in a heartfelt message on Instagram stating, "NWA Texas is saddened to learn of the passing of Kevin Nikel, professionally known as Ivan Warsaw and Knuckles Madsen. His contributions to professional wrestling will never be forgotten. Our thoughts and prayers are with his family and friends during this time. Rest in peace." At the time of this writing, no additional statements have been made by authorities or members of Nikel's family. Our condolences go out to Kevin Nikel's loved ones, colleagues, and fans. Now, MJF never shied away from controversy, but his appearance at StarCast may have crossed a line even by his standards. Known for his sharp tongue and ruthless promos, the AEW star delivered a segment that left many fans stunned and others downright furious. While promoting his All In 2024 action figure, MJF told fans that the gear was inspired by both Apollo Creed and Lex Luger. The crowd responded with applause until MJF shut it down with a jaw-dropping insult. "Why are you clapping for him? He can't even walk," he said, referencing Lex Luger's real-life paralysis. The remark drew immediate backlash from the crowd. One woman voiced her displeasure, but MJF doubled down in signature fashion, replying, "I'm talking, you stupid bitch," which drew audible gasps and shocked reactions from those in attendance. While some fans defended the promo as part of his heel persona, others argued the comments crossed into tasteless territory. Targeting a legend's disability and cursing out a fan in the crowd left many questioning where the line should be drawn in modern wrestling. And the controversy didn't end there. According to Ringside News, footage from the event shows MJF walking through the crowd alongside the Hurt Syndicate when a fan filming him appeared to irritate the AEW star. MJF reached towards the person's phone in what looked like an attempt to knock it away. Though he didn't make contact, the moment stirred more buzz, and not the good kind. MJF is no stranger to pushing buttons, but with this latest string of incidents, fans are asking whether this was just another chapter in his heel playbook or something that went too far. Was MJF in character, or did he seriously cross the line? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. People weren't just unhappy with MJF at StarCast, frustration is also building over the event itself. While All In Texas is shaping up to be one of AEW's biggest shows of the year, the fan experience at StarCast hasn't lived up to expectations. What was meant to be a weekend of excitement, panels, and meet and greets has turned into a headache for many attendees. Social media has been buzzing with complaints about the brutal heat inside the Sheraton venue in Irving, Texas. With poor ventilation and little crowd control, fans have described the event as uncomfortable and chaotic, far from the memorable experience they were promised. As we all know, Teddy Long is facing every parent's worst nightmare. The WWE Hall of Famer opened up for the first time about the heartbreaking loss of his son Antoine Long during the July 10th episode of Wrestling's Road Trip After Hours. Antoine was found unresponsive in his home last Friday. He had been active on social media just days before, and his sudden passing has shocked those close to the family. Teddy took time on the podcast to speak directly to fans and thank those who have shown support in the aftermath. Well, basically, I guess what Mac wants to talk about is the passing of my son Antoine. He passed, I believe, last Thursday. We found him Friday. He was in his home, he was unresponsive, so basically I'm waiting on the autopsy to let us kind of know what really happened. He was laying on his bed, still had his clothes on and everything, and one of his friends came there and found him in the house, so we're just waiting to see what happened. Despite his grief, Long made sure to publicly acknowledge the people who reached out from the wrestling industry. Some of the biggest names in the business sent him personal messages of love and respect. A lot of people acknowledged that and texted me, people from WWE, and I want to say those names now too to let them know how much I appreciate it. Mark Henry was one of them, Bruce Pritchard, Michael Hayes, The Godfather, Eric Bischoff, Natalia, Ron Simmons, JBL, and Stephanie McMahon. She reached out and spoke on behalf of her and Triple H and gave me their condolences. So thank you so much, Stephanie. He also gave a heartfelt shout out to Herb Simmons and others who went out of their way to show they truly cared. I also want to acknowledge Herb Simmons, another guy I want to let people know when people do stuff like this, they don't have to, so anytime they do, that lets me know you ain't faking, you're real. They really do care, so the people that I mentioned here show me that they do care. Teddy ended with a message to everyone who's reached out, especially fans online who may not have heard back directly.